third run at the White House in 2012. During his maiden voyage in 1988, Paul ran as a libertarian.
We think the government should be much smaller. If government is small, then you don't need an income tax.
In 2008, Paul was 20 years older, a sitting congressman from Texas, a Republican, and still a small government guy.
I have never voted for a tax increase, never will, but the tax issue is only one half of it. You can easily pledge not to raise taxes, but you have to cut spending.
The man has certainly been consistent, but the times have changed, so these days Paul commands a larger audience willing to back him up with big bucks. He's been called the intellectual godfather of the Tea Party. Not a bad title to hang your hat on this primary season. The latest CNN poll of Republicans shows Ron Paul running second among announced and likely presidential candidates. High flying for a candidate who 3 years ago finished with only 3% of the delegates needed to win his party's nomination. He says people used to laugh at him. They are not anymore. Congressman Ron Paul is next. Joining me now, Republican presidential candidate, Congressman Ron Paul. Congressman, thank you very much for joining us. Let's talk about a couple of things that were out there this week. The debt ceiling. The House rejected raising the debt ceiling in what seemed like a pressure move as opposed to a final move. Will there be a deal to raise the debt ceiling this month?
Well, I don't think anybody has an absolute answer to that, but I have my suspicions, and I would bet on that there will be.
And much to your unhappiness.
Sure. I mean, I came into the Congress a good many years ago, and my goal was to shrink the size of government and balance our budget, pay the bills, have sound money, and live within our means and mind our own business. And I haven't done a very good job. It seems like we're going in the wrong direction.
Well, how much of the House vote, the House rejecting any increase in the debt ceiling until there is a deal to cut something in spending, of government spending, how much of that is real and how much of it is a game of chicken? Because what we're told is the economy will implode if we don't raise this debt ceiling. So is this now in the gamesmanship stage rather than the serious stage?
100% gamesmanship. I mean, they're not serious. If they thought there was a problem, they would, you know, cut the spending and go down to business. But no, they're not serious. It's who's going to get the blame and who's going to get the power and who's going to get the political benefits and who won't have to have their budget cut. And that's what it's all about. But it'll come down to the wire, and they'll pass it because they will beat the drums of fear. That's how we get things done in Washington. Whether it's on foreign policy, you know, they're about to attack us, and they're going to bomb us with nuclear weapons, and they get Congress to do things.
And in the end, what do you think would happen if it didn't pass? Because you're right, we're told that economic recovery would be threatened. Do you believe that, if the debt ceiling was not raised?
It depends on how it's done. If it was a sign that we were getting our house in order, it might restore a lot of confidence. It might restore confidence in our dollar. Our dollar may go up because, hey, maybe they're serious this time. But if it's just sort of a mistake and they missed it a week or two and something like that, it could be very negative. But if it was part of a plan to change things, yes, I think it could be a very positive thing. But the big thing is, if we continue to do what we're doing and we raise the debt limit, what they don't want to think about is where we're going, because they say it could be bad, and there could be some difficult circumstances on delaying payments. But delaying payments is nothing like